Hey guys, I wanted to come on and share my labor and delivery story with you today. Finally getting a chance to sit down and film. Being a new mother is no joke, like at all. And I tip my hat to other mothers. I salute you. Oh my God. And for those with multiple kids, God bless America, okay? Seriously. So let's just jump right into it. Let me just say now that I'm not going to guarantee that I'm not going to cry before the end of this video. It's been a few days since I've actually cried, I think. I want to make sure I'm not telling a lie. I'm just super duper happy about being a mom and just really opening up and sharing my journey with you all. My life with my baby girl. So my baby girl's name is Riley Olivia, and I'm not gonna say her last name because there are creeps on the internet. And but yeah, her name is Riley Olivia. She was born April the 6th, 2020 at 10:55 a.m. A little Aries baby. And I'm just so grateful to have her in my life. We are grateful to have her in our lives. Um, so where do I start? She was delivered via emergency C-section. So let's back up. April the 6th, 10:55 a.m. is Monday when she got here. I have been in labor since that Friday, which was what, the 3rd or so. I was scheduled for a 41-week induction. I had went in for a 39-week elective induction, and that didn't go so well. Um, and then I was like, you know what, let me just wait for her to try to come on her own. And so when I turned 41 weeks, which is, anybody who doesn't really know, is 1 week after the due date. Her due date was March 29th. So technically she was a week late. But that Friday, like I said, I think that's the 3rd. Don't kill me if my math's off. Whatever that date is, Friday. Um, I, I went to the doctor and I had not dilated at all, like up until that point. So when I went to the doctor and I got checked, they put me on a non-stress, the non-stress test. And baby was doing good. She was, she was just her regular self. And then they checked me. They did a cervical exam to see like how far I had dilated, and I was a fingertip, which was still good news because all the weeks before I hadn't dilated. My cervix wasn't favorable. It was moved posterior and all this other craziness. So, I just was like, I'm never going to have this baby. I was tripping. And so that Friday, like I said, that Friday morning, I went in. She said I was a fingertip, which was good for us. And so I was like, okay. I went home that evening and I started having cramps, but they were, and I had already been having Braxton Hicks, and I had contractions already, but nothing was consistent where it was like, okay, we're in active labor, or let's call the doctor, or whatever. So I started having them like they started coming regular, but they were like so far apart. I'm gonna say like 20 minutes at this point, and they were lasting. They were kind of short, but as the night went on, they got more intense, and so my doctor had instructed us to walk. And I told Ryan, I was like, I'm not walking at this point. Like, I'm fat, I'm heavy, I'm tired, I'm over it. Like, I wanted to sleep more than anything, and of course, eat. But we still walked the neighborhood, trying to kind of get the baby down. And also, the baby was super low already. Um, but so Friday night went by, Saturday night, Saturday, and then Saturday night went by, and Saturday and Sunday were actually more intense to the point where I really didn't get any sleep Saturday night. Saturday I don't even remember what we did Saturday, but I tried to like remain regular, but it got to the point where I knew that these contractions were coming. I kind of got a break for a couple hours, if I could remember correctly. I got a break for a couple hours, and I was like, okay, well, this isn't active labor, but it didn't matter to us anyway because we were going in Sunday for the induction because I was 41 weeks. And so I was like, okay, well, whatever, it doesn't matter. Um, but then that night, they just, my contractions started coming on a lot stronger to the point where I had to like breathe through them. I could still talk to them, speak through them. And Ryan would be like, babe, are you okay? He really didn't get any sleep because every time they would come on, I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I'm having another one. Excuse me. So Sunday rolls around. Sunday rolls around. Okay. No, let me back up real quick too. So I'm lying. Friday, went to the doctor, speeded up. Saturday, bloody show. That's what it was. I went to the doctor Saturday morning. That morning, I woke. Okay, Friday night, I went to bed and I had the worst cramps, like period cramps. And I woke up in the morning and I was spotting, which they consider, but it was a nice amount of blood, but it was just like light pink discharge. And so I was like, babe, I was like, I think I have bloody show. That's what it was. And so we walked. I went to I called the medical line. I went into the hospital. They checked me. I was a centimeter dilated. So we went from a fingertip Friday to a centimeter. So I knew something was happening. But we were going in Sunday for the induction, and I kept laughing, saying, "This baby is gonna come when she's ready." And just my luck, she was gonna come before my induction. And so they sent us home. She gave me the choice to walk, but because of this whole thing with, we couldn't walk the hospital. They didn't want you leaving the suite and then coming back. And I could only have one person with me. So it was just a big, not big mess at the hospital, but, they were really strict about labor and delivery and the rules that had changed for, you laboring or whatever at the hospital that I delivered at. So I went home. I chose to go home and just labor as much as I could by myself before going to the hospital Sunday night at 8. And so Saturday night, it got real. Like, shit got real. And I was like to the point where I was not getting any real sleep. Um, and it was an amazing experience though, because I did, my prayer and intention was to labor natural, and I wanted to feel that. And so I was able to do that. I woke up Sunday morning, and between what happened Saturday night and Sunday morning, I was like, I'm going to the hospital. I'm like going to the hospital. And I just prepared myself. I called the nurse line again. I didn't like the response that I got from, I guess, when she paged doctor or whatever that was on call. It wasn't my doctor, but the doctor on call. And whatever she had said, I had told my partner, I was like, you know what? I already feel like it's going to be an issue when I get there if they send me home because I'm in pain, like. And so I just, we walked, I ate good. We went to the park. Well, we couldn't go in the park, but we just parked outside of one of the parks we like to walk at and just ate and just had a good time enjoying like our last day as non-parents, so to speak. So I waited and still went in at 8 o'clock for my induction. We get there, and my doctor actually was there, and she was not the doctor on call, but she was leaving. So she was with the doctor that was on call. She was like, I waited for you. She was like, I just knew you were going to come because we were going to keep you. Sunday night, 8 o'clock, I get checked in. That was an amazing experience. It was quick, it was fast. We were in room number 5. So I am a big believer in numbers, and number 5 symbolizes change. So now understanding how things ended up going, and the fact that I'm like, okay, I'm here and I'm leaving with a baby this time. There's no coming and going back home type of thing. I knew that that was the room that my baby was going to be delivered in. So and they were quick. My doctor came in and she stripped my membranes. They hooked me up to my IV. She was able to actually get her fingers in, and she started stripping my membranes. The worst pain ever. And I'm saying it like that. It ain't as bad as like contractions, but nonetheless, it was painful. And my doctor is one of those type of doctors I just get it done type of thing, type of people. I love her so much. So yeah, she strips my membranes and she was like, let's get this ball rolling. So I'm thinking we about to get some sleep. We about to. She was like, no, let's walk. I was like, what, girl? So we get up and we start walking. the fact that she put I had a Cytotec, I think it was, whatever the medicine to ripen my cervix. She did also, she inserted that to kind of help, like ripening my cervix. So backing up just a tad bit, I went in for a 39-week induction before elective, and I ended up going home because they put that pill or whatever medicine in my cervix, and I started having hella contractions, which was not what they were expecting. Well, the same thing ended up happening, and so we walked. I did not get any sleep Sunday night at all. Um, by Sunday night, I'm gonna say Sunday, maybe like 2 a.m., my labor was in full gear. By the time, I'm gonna say, by the time they did a morning shift change, I was already like 3 or 4 centimeters dilated, and my contractions were coming 1 to 2 minutes apart. She got real. I kept asking my nurses, like, and at that time I only had 2 doses of the side attack. And I was so over it because I was just like, oh my fucking goodness. Like, I felt like I had to poop. I was like, babe, call the nurse, call the nurse. So, but backing up a little bit, I had already had the bloody show at home, and my mucus blood came out right before I went to the hospital, literally. So when I was at the hospital, all of those things had already taken place, and I was progressing with my the contractions, and I was also progressing with dilating. But my contractions were so strong that the baby's heart rate was kept dipping. So I don't remember exactly what time it was in the morning when the doctor who ended up delivering my baby came in, but we'll say it was 7 o'clock that morning or so. So my contractions were super strong, and the nurse the night before Sunday night, I was talking to her and I was asking her, like, when do you ask for epidural? She was like, I said, at how many centimeters? She said, don't gauge it off of that. Gauge it off your pain. I have a high tolerance for pain. Now I know that because I was told that I was in, even though it was only 3 to 4 centimeters dilated when they made the call to do um, when I asked for the epidural, but when they made the call to do the C-section, I was only pretty much 4 centimeters dilated, but my contractions were coming 1 to 2 minutes apart. I was laboring on my own. I never even got to the pitocin. And so my bag of water broke at 3 centimeters because she said it was bulging out. And I said, that's probably what the pressure that I was feeling. So they broke my water bag just with a check, like with her going and checking. She was like, she could feel the baby's head, like everything. And she's like, oh my God, like you're really far along, but you're not progressing with your, with dilation to add up to this. So I was basically, the way everything was going, I was pretty much at like what a woman would be at, like 8 centimeters, 9 centimeters, getting ready to push. But my cervix was only open 3 to 4 centimeters. So they couldn't give me any more medicine. They wanted to slow my contractions down, and they wanted to give me a medicine that was going to speed my heart rate up. No, ma'am. I told her no. I was like, so it's a possibility that it will slow them down, but we can guarantee it's going to speed my heart rate up. And I told her, if y'all speed my heart rate up, I was like, you're going to have a bigger problem on your hands than anything. And so, the doctor started talking to me about doing an emergency C-section because she was explaining to me what was happening to my baby. And of course, we wanted to make sure that mom and baby were healthy. So I immediately called my mom, and I'm crying because I can't say for any woman, but for me, I've only had stitches in my finger, and that was when I was like 28, so that was like 10 years ago. I've never had a broken bone, no surgery, no nothing. So of course I was open to, I said this baby will come out one way or the other. So but having to do a C-section was already like just that thing that you just don't want to do. And so, my mom prayed with me, and she was like, let's just get this over with. She had a C-section with my sister, and my sister had a C-section with my niece. And so I was just crying, and my mom was like, just calm down, like, you're going to be fine. And so as soon as I hung up with my mom and was getting ready to tell them, like, okay, I'm ready, let's just go ahead. Because she had told me, the doctor told me that they were going to monitor my baby for 30 to 60 minutes. And if her heart rate dipped again, that we would seriously consider, the C-section. My baby's heart rate dropped twice within the time I was on the phone with my mom and hung up with her after she prayed with me. So I knew that that was the universe's way of sending a synchronicity, like, no, this has to happen like this. But I had a fear, so I, kind of dragged it out or whatever. And they made the call. So hold on, let me show time. So they come in and literally I just hung up. Um, and they tell my baby to put his little scrub things on, and they're like, okay, so explain this to me, and I was like, okay, I'm ready. And I don't know how the hell, when I tell you they moved into action, they moved into action. I'm getting wheeled to the OR, and I'm just so scared. um but let me stop real quick and back up. I got an epidural. That's what it was. The epidural, I got the epidural at 3 centimeters, 3.5 centimeters, 3, 4 centimeters, and my blood pressure dropped. My pressure dropped low, and they had to, lean me back and do all this, try to stabilize me, and it got really wonky. And then the whole thing with the medicine trying to get me to not contract as much and all, it was just a lot going on. So jumping back forward, so at this point that I'm going to the OR, I'm freshly numb. And so they ended up giving me more numbing medicine through the epidural, and they didn't even have to do a spinal or whatever it is called, because, I just had gotten that medicine. So they're moving quick. The nurse that was with me was super helpful. She was like, "You want to listen to some music?" So I delivered my baby to Yayo by Erica Badu. And it was so funny because I was like, how ratchet can we get? Because I need something to take my mind off of this. All the while I'm laying on this table, cold. After about 20 minutes, so I delivered her to Yayo, Erica Badu. I don't know where the video had cut off. And we were sitting there just laughing and joking. I hear this little cry, and I'm just, because I'm so numb, so I can't feel shit. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, babe. And he's like, huh? And we just hear her cry. And it was just like the most amazing feeling that I have ever felt in my life. Like, I cannot express to anyone, even mothers, like, we all have different experiences or what have you. And mine's my intention going into this whole thing with laboring was whatever was for the highest and greatest good of everybody involved, not just me. I wanted to labor natural, as I wanted to feel the pain. I wanted to go through labor as much as natural as possible. And I knew I was going to get an epidural. I wasn't trying to go and be a super mom or what have you, but I did want to go in and actually feel, what it was like. And God answered my prayers. I just didn't deliver her naturally. And honestly, I was more interested in the process than I was the end result. And I got exactly what I asked for in a sense. So this whole thing with labor and delivery taught me, like, all in all, the pregnancy taught me to let go and flow, like, completely, because I was totally out of control with that. Like, I had no control. Like, God was literally, you're growing this baby, I'm carrying this baby. So what I could control, I had my lane, and the universe, God had their lane. So it was just like, it was just amazing. The pregnancy alone was amazing. So labor and delivery taught me just to really just surrender, because at that point I only had two options to get her out, vaginally or through the C-section. And to keep going, trying to have her vaginally would have put her at stress and put me at stress. And I knew that that's not something that I wanted to do going into starting a relationship with my daughter. um and so I felt at peace about it. Like I said, my mom had prayed with me. I actually got to labor, go through my water breaking, losing my mucus plug, laboring for 2 days, feeling the intensity of my contractions, and then to find out after I had her, the nurses came to see me, that were with me the night before. They were like, "Girl, we saw that chart. Oh my God!" Like the nurse who was telling me, like, don't gauge my pain level on, how many centimeters dilated I am, told me, she was like, the way your chart looked, you would have thought it was a woman who was literally getting ready to push. She was like, so you did good, mama, like, laboring. So I was super excited. But our daughter came into this world healthy, strong, happy, greedy, a head full of hair. and we're just super excited to have her. I know this is kind of like my first real video sitting down talking. So I hope to really be able to capture my life with my baby, with my partner, hopefully. Um, if he doesn't do social media or anything like that, but I'm so in love. I'm in love with my family, and I'm just grateful to the universe for the opportunity and bringing me and Ryan together. Like that's a whole story within itself that I promise I will share. So let me see if my baby is up, and I'm gonna bring her so that you guys can formally meet my baby bear. Hold on. So this is my baby, Riley Olivia. Say hi, mama. She just ate. I pumped for her. Her dad said most of it's on her onesie. I hope y'all can see my baby. Say hi, pumpkin. She don't have no matching gloves because she go through these things like wildfire. Say hi, Mook. My baby's so chunky now. So as of today, okay. You wanna say hi? Say hi, Bubbles. You say hi. I love the way she smells. She smells like a newborn. but but yes, I'm about to change her clothes. She just ate, so we'll probably feed her again. Cause mama can pack it away. But I'm so in love, y'all. She look like me too. So she look like her daddy. She got them eyes and white eyes. But I'm just so in love, and I just look forward to filming her and growing up as a mom growing up, and her growing up, us growing up. Um, and just I'm just so grateful that she chose us for this earth mission because she got some dope ass parents. So yeah, but I just wanted to come on and show you guys my baby. I'm sure you guys will see her on Instagram. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram at iamyouniqlymade. iamyouniqlymade. Okay, and she the fussing too when she's ready for me to stop talking. So I'm gonna change my baby. Peace, blessings, and I will catch you guys later.